Oh, hello and g'day. Welcome everyone to the shed. My name's Mark. I'm your host, and thank you for being here. First of all, a little shout out to the members of the channel. You members are rock stars, and I really appreciate your support. I also appreciate the support of the other people who are not members of the channel and just come here and watch watch what I do and take your time to sit here and enjoy and interact and say hello to one another. And in saying that, we start this show with, oh, hang on. Yeah, the old hands. Mind blank here at the moment. I'm a bit scrambled. I had planned what I wanted to say, but anyway, nothing special. As that old saying goes, it must have been a lie. But anyway, moving on. What's happening in the shed? Well, it's been a pretty topsy-turvy week. Thanks, Codger. Appreciate it. Appreciate the subscription. In this channel, people like Codger and a few others who are new to the channel, this is my workshop behind me. I will just hang on a second. I just got to turn this autofocus off on this camera, which is a bit of a pain. The minute you put your hand in front of it, they call it AI tracking. Right, that should, come on, turn off. Right, that's better. And I'll just move this up a bit. There we go. That's better. Hang on. Hopefully the Mozzies are not going to get me too much. Sorry about this. It's very unprofessional stream. Got mum and dad watching on the big screen. Yeah, best laid plans are mine. Robbo's here. G'day, Robbo. Thanks for being here. I'll shout out a few others. Stylesy, he's working tonight, but he dropped in and said hello. We got Funk and Hungry. We've got Steamy Man. Like I said, mum and dad on the big screen. A few other people might have it on the big screen as well. And who else did I forget? Cody hasn't jumped in yet. I haven't seen him. He might be out to dinner with his sister or something like that. But yeah, I do appreciate the support you guys give me. And moving right along, when I keep forgetting what I'm going to say. What's been happening? Well, like I said, been a bit flat out this week with both work and a few things happening here at home. I've talked about Shed Dog Alert. I've talked about we're getting we've got a new vehicle, new motor vehicle, and I'll flick over here to the bench cam. And there she is there. It's a Mahindra pickup. It's second hand, but it's new to us. It's only got about 39,500 Ks. In fact, I'll go to the talking head, and there it is there with Mrs. Shed Talk looking at the driver's manual. Oh, righto, yep. Mum and Dad are watching on Mum and Dad have got themselves a new TV. The old one was dying, unfortunately. Like a lot of things, TVs go by the wayside, and they've got a new one. Nothing extravagant, but it suits them just fine. So hopefully the pictures come looking good. So anyway, this is the new Ute, Mahindra. They're an Indian company. They've been making tractors for a long time. Yeah, Pete, barely broken in. There's a couple of little things I need to sort out on it, only very, very minor things. But so far, so good. It goes really well. Obviously, it's a twin cab, so it can fit all of us in, as in us and the dogs. And it doesn't have a problem. They've said that the turning circle's a little bit on the big side, but so far I haven't had any real issues with getting into situations. It's certainly got plenty of pickup, that's for sure, and the brakes are phenomenal. It's got a good stereo system. cruise control, airbags, all that sort of stuff. This is a 2022 model, and it just goes well. It goes really well. Here's there's the back side of it, or the rear side of it. What happened? Okay. Right. Sorry, guys. It's just told me I don't have an active live stream for some reason. Anyway, it'll come back in. Unless it's something magic. Oh, here we go. Righto, we're reconnecting to the chat. Don't panic. I'll have a sip on me full sugar Coke and we'll be right. I'll go crazy. Cheers, everyone. So there you have it. If I have missed something in the chat, you can just retype it. I think, Clinton, your message didn't come up, or maybe it did. Yeah, oh yeah, I see. It lies. Who lies? Who lies, Peter? Yeah, oh, the chat here had a bit of a hissy fit, maybe because it's been going for so long. Okay, hang on, I'm getting messages from them. Oh, righto. Picture looks good. Mum and Dad said the other one was 15 years old. So, hey, look at, here's old Funk and Hungry with a white rabbit. Righto. So, moving forward, the Mahindra is going to be the new vehicle. The old one, the old Ute, the old Rodeo, it's a 97 model, so it's getting close on 30 years old, and it was starting to have some problems. It's been the old Ute was really good. It done everything we needed to do, and I've had it loaded up at times and things like that. However, there was some things starting to go wrong, and it just wasn't economical enough to put money into it. So far, like I said, so far so good. This thing seems to go really well. I haven't done much in the way of long distance in it. The furthest I've been is from the car yard, which is on Brisbane, just on Brisbane's north side there, and drove it up here to home. It goes well. That's all I can say. It's like anything, being new to me or new to us, you got to get used to it, as you do with, when you buy a vehicle. You can look and read and all that sort of stuff about all the details and things like that, but until you actually sit in it and drive it and things like that, it's just, it is what it is. But anyway, looking forward to, a few ventures down the road with it, and get a few things sorted out, and should be a good vehicle. Aircon's great, I must admit. The aircon works really well. So moving right along, just fair warning, I haven't really, like I said, I haven't done much in the shed lately. This week's been a bit crazy, so I haven't really got much organised, but there is a couple of things I do have to do, which I'll talk you through over on the bench cam, actually, because the Mark's Driving Adventures, yeah. Well, there's a few channels on YouTube, G, with these vehicles, people doing reviews in them. One guy in particular, he hasn't done much in it recently, but I have looked at some of his videos, and people have done reviews on these. There is a courier company down in the Hunter Valley in New South Wales, and they've got 3 of the single cab utes, and they're coming up to something like 1 million kilometres now on these things. Yes, they do have a few issues, known issues, and that's no different. Why not do similar? Yeah, exactly, G. And that's not uncommon from other vehicles as well, that, that have problems with EGR valves, diesel particle filters and things like that. So far, so good. So far, these haven't, there is minor little things that go wrong with them, and there's a good community on Facebook. Codger, no, mate, no. No, not Swiss. No, mate, no. No, that's not me. It it takes me to work and back, and there's obviously a few adventures that will go on in due course. Obviously, leading up to Christmas, the silly season we're in now, you know, there's we haven't got anything planned. We've just got it, obviously, so maybe some short trips. Yeah, the dog does look sort of interested. Well, I haven't. Yeah, you're right, Peter. DPFs are. Yeah, we've had it with our. We've got some Toyota Utes at work, and one of them has had the same problem. Even one of our trucks, because the blokes were actually, it's my old truck that they turned into a water truck. The blokes would get in, drive it around, get out, do whatever they have to do, and they just weren't driving it enough, and it wouldn't do a kick in and do a burn. So they had to take it and send it away and get it sorted out, and that cost the company a fair bit of money. So hopefully they've learned that lesson. But anyway, a bit more of a drink. Cheers. Now, right, here's one photo I will show. Sorry, folks, there might have been a bit of a glitch in the system there, glitch in the matrix. Righto. To the new viewers, if you're new here, I know Codger is, but there may be a few other people who watch another time. This is the steamroller that we are working on. It's almost been 8 years since we brought this steamroller home, and that's it, Pete. Yep. And this has sort of been a passion for the last almost 8 years. In what is it? In Easter of next year will be 8 years since we brought this steamroller home. This steamroller was built in 1926 in the United Kingdom by John Fowler and Company, and exported out here to Australia, where it worked all its life up until about 1960-61. And then it was placed in a park, and thanks, Codger. It was placed in a park and sat there for 50 years before it got rescued from the park. Now, I'm not the person who rescued it out of the park. There's another gentleman who I haven't actually met yet, which I should probably make a point of meeting. And where this photo was taken was from the second gentleman who obtained it and was planning to restore it. He decided, because of his other commitments, that he would never get around to it. And through word of mouth, we purchased this and brought it home. And this has pretty been the main focus since bringing it home. And it's also the inspiration. A lot of the work I do here on the channel is the restoration of this steamroller. It's coming up. So 1926, next year it's going to be 100 years old. I'm hoping I'll be able to have it in steam, or at least, partially back together. It was missing some parts, and I have covered some of that in videos, and I probably need to go back and cover that again for additional content on the channel, just to bring people up to speed. But that takes a bit of time, and I need to sit down and plan that out a bit. One of those things that you don't want it to be too long, but you don't want it to be too short either. This has been a real interesting project. It's certainly had some challenges, and I got to thank my lovely wife, who's been very supportive. of this project, and friends and family who have also supported me with this restoration. I also got a shout out to Dan in Melbourne. And Dan in Melbourne has the exact same steamroller, and him and I have helped each other out tremendously. And in fact, when we go over on the bench, I'm going to be walking you through some information that I got to send down to him. Now, when I say the same type of steamroller, this is a model T3B, and it's only a fairly small one. It's about 8 tonne in working order. Yeah, Pete, you're right. Got to be dressed up for the special birthday. It's only about 8 tonne in working order, which is it's a pretty small sort of steamroller. But for the day, it done its thing. And because it sat in the park for 50 years, some of the parts went missing. However, with networking and connecting with like-minded people, and especially Dan down in Melbourne, I actually got back some of the missing parts. This engine had some parts missing, and he ended up having some of the parts in when he purchased his. So you would think that never in a million years would you ever come across some missing parts that went missing, like 30 years before you brought the thing, or 20 years before you brought the thing. But hey presto, sometimes you have a win. So there you have it. So in saying that, no, Codger, not the TR3. No, mate, no. And we don't even know if that's the correct name. That's just a name that somebody made up. I know what you're referring to there. Oh, nothing like a bit of full sugar Coke. I know that Cody, who's usually in the chat, loves his Pepsi Max, and a few others like their Pepsi Max. But yeah, let's go the old full sugar strength Coke. Let's get it down you. Anyway, over to the bench cam. Now I've got to reposition the bench cam. Let's have a play here. Ooh, wrong way. Righto. So over right now, that's the milling machine, and there's the boiler for the steamroller. Now, because it sat outside for 50 years, excuse me, there was some deterioration, and that's being addressed. And the boiler work that we're doing is being done under the guidance of a boiler inspector, pressure vessel inspector, and everything's been done above board. So before it goes out to the public, the pressure vessel will be fit for purpose and safe to operate. That's for sure. Right, getting back over to the bench, and we take a tour around the shed. That's milling machine and various other bits and pieces. Forklift's a very important part of the shed. It certainly helps lift all the heavy bits. The whippersnipper you see here, we worked on that during a live stream. And here we go. Hang on, we'll just go back here. Hey, shed dog, come here. Oh, drink of water time. The shed dogs do make an appearance. We have two. We got shed dog 1 and shed dog 2. Come here, baby girl. She may not want to. Here she comes. So this is shed dog 1. Hello, baby girl. She's 9 years old, retired service dog, and shed dog 2 is just made an appearance over there. Shed dog 2 is in the process of being trained as a service dog. Where are you going? Hey, come here. Come on. Come here. Maxie, come on with me. It looks like he doesn't want to come in. He wanted in before, yes. What's he doing? You and him finished playing, have you? You and him finished playing? I haven't got any treats for you. No treats for the puppies. But if you want any dog hair, there you go. Shed Dog one's, Shed Dog 2, sorry, has got plenty. She's just shedding all over the shed. Shed. Try and say that 3 times. Somebody can shed the shedding dog. Shed in the shed, if you can shed it. All right. Righto. So this is the whippersnipper we worked on last live stream. Actually, it was a live stream in the afternoon. I did a impromptu one. And here are, righto. Oh yeah, they seem last. Righto. These are little decorative handles on some of our drawers in the bedroom and the trades guild that I belong to. I asked them to cast some new ones, and that's them. They're fairly fine sort of thing. These ones are brass, and I think these are brass too, or some sort of. They do look like brass. These might need a bit of a clean up, and that'll be done over there on the linisher, which you saw before. Got a bit of weight to them, same sort of size, and I've got to make sure I can. They'll definitely need clean up with a file, a few sharp edges on there, but they've done a good job, and they'll certainly do fit for purpose. That's for sure. The Trades Guild. That's in the same complex as the club I belong to down at Old Petrie Town, and that's where the Queensland Steam and Vintage Machinery Society is. Now, we have a number of road steam vehicles. The steamroller is one. So I'm working on this one. The club has some steam vehicles that operate, and they're all around the same sort of era as this one, 1926. In fact, we've got one traction engine that was built at the turn of the century. I'm just going to reposition that. So I have showed those on previous live streams, and I probably need to re-show them again for our new viewers. We've got some Christmas events coming up down there, so we've actually got tomorrow night. If you look at Old Petrie Town on Facebook, you'll see the event coming up there. And I'm getting a little bit of glitching on the streaming computer, so hopefully that's not coming through, but hopefully it's not affecting anything. Then Saturday night we've got the club's Christmas party, and then on Sunday we've got our annual open day, first Sunday of the month. So the steamroller that I help look after is going to be operating 3 days straight in a row, which is not too bad, which is not a problem, because previously to this we went to an event, a big steam rally, and we operated it for over 9-10 days straight, So even though it's almost 100 years, well, it is 100 years old, the one I help look after down at Petrie, it still goes great, So anyway, this whippersnipper, I need to finish off a couple of little things. I was going to put some heat shrink on that and put that back together. We've got a couple of wires here. Actually, no, I'm getting those mixed up already, because I put that on there like that, but we need some heat shrink on there. So let's do that now while we're live. In fact, I'll turn this light on so we get a bit more light there. Forgot about that. And we've got our heat gun there. So I'll turn that on, and I'll just grab the phone. Yes, I do. Righto, and just bear with me for a second, or 2, or 3, or 4, while I get set up. In fact, let's go to... G'day and welcome back to the shed. My name's Mark. Well, we're just going back to our way of doing things that I've previously done it. I'm recording the video on the iPhone, using the Rode Wireless Go, so we're getting the Go 3, sorry. So we're getting good audio. Auto assist gain is on. But anyway, just a short one. This is a little modification that's being made to the lathe here in front of us. It's a piece of aluminium. Yes, I know our friends in America call it something else. They call it aluminum. But anyway, aluminium. It's just going to sit on top here. It's protruding out a bit here, about 3 to 5 mil. So I've got to put it in the milling machine and just recess that a little bit further. And then a couple of screws to hold it down, probably 3. But what it's going to do is we'll be able to set the lathe tools, whoops, when I get it around the right way. I'm going to put the lathe tools on here like this so they're easy access and they're not sitting on top of the headstock and cluttering things. Righto, we're back on from the little intermission. That's from a previous video that I've done, which is up on the channel, about the lathe. If you want to go and check that out, you can. You can just, I've got playlists on the channel, and those playlists will help you find exactly what you're looking for. I've broken them up to metal lathe, the milling machine, roads, what I've done with road steam and various things like that. So if you got nothing else to do and you want to check that out, you can check it out on the channel. Now we've got our bit of heat shrink here. It's a little bit bigger than what we need, but it's going to go over. It's going to go up over this, and then we'll clip that in like that, like so, and that's going to cover everything and help insulate it, because what happened was the bit of plastic that was on there deteriorated. This thing's almost 20 years old, something like that, and it was just easy to put some heat shrink on there. So I'll grab the old heat gun, a bit like a hairdryer. I'll just turn it on low and just start the heat up straight away. You may be able to, I'm sure you can hear that. And g'day, Kerry. Righto, so we're just running a heat gun over this just to shrink it down. Now, if you haven't seen heat shrink before, it's incredible stuff. You heat it up and it shrinks around whatever you put it on. Acts as an insulation. There we go. Now, I know that's probably not the best viewing angle. However, that's done the job. Right. This little piece of now this is the throttle here I'm dealing with. There's plenty of travel in that, and this hooks into there like so, and that goes down there, and then we got that screw that screws into there. Now, here's the tricky bit. Well, not the tricky bit. I've showed this little toolkit on the stream before, but this is made by Top Tool. It's a great little kit. It's just got everything you need, goes up to 14 millimeters. It's got a few torque screws in it and Phillips heads, and it's all quarter-inch drive. Like I said, fantastic bit of kit. Yeah, I think I paid, I just forget, maybe it was $70 or something for it, but that might be, some people might, I think it was $70, something like that. Whatever it was, it's well worth it, that's for sure. Now, when I said this is the tricky bit, it's not really tricky at all. It's just getting things set in the right place so that when you pull the trigger, when you adjust the throttle, it opens it up, and I may have that in the wrong spot, which is quite possible. And that's why it's got that adjustment on there. And that almost goes right around. The other thing I could do is take this back out again. It's just got a little, I just used the pliers last time. I might put it in the second one there like so. So when I pull the trigger, that's opening up to full throttle. Yep, that looks pretty good. And apologies if my head was in the way. So I'll just change back over. Yes, and Steamy Man here does do that. Steamy Man has a nice collection of toys, steam toys, which he does show publicly. And you've got a few on your channel, I think, haven't you, Clinton? Righto. Codger, I really don't know, mate. I haven't seen any. I would have a look at the reviews, see what people are saying on YouTube. YouTube's a great place to look at reviews, or reviews of products, especially stuff that comes from overseas and that. I actually haven't seen any myself. If you got a link, you could drop it in the chat. Maybe Bunnings has got a review. Yeah, I'm not sure. Thanks, G, for reminding everyone to hit that like button. If that, really appreciate that. Certainly appreciate the help. Yeah, cordless whippersnipper. Yeah, no, I'd have to look it up. I'd appreciate the question though, and if anyone's got any questions at any time, you're most welcome to put them in the chat, and I'll answer them the best I can. So what was happening with the whippersnipper? Why did we pull it apart? Right. Well, when we pulled the cord here, nothing was happening. And when we separated everything, you can go back and have a look at that live chat. The two little fingers that grip on to, there's like a sprocket inside, and they lock in. There's built up crap, and that's what was stopping it. So it actually turns over now, and I can go around and whippersnip the edges. It's something I haven't done. We've had a lot of rain here. The grass has grown out of control, and I was only able to mow some of it. Right, so that's the whippersnipper. Let's go throw it over in the tender of the steamroller. Now, the old ute, talking about the old ute, which we weren't, and these two, if you're doing any work in your shed and you've got screws or anything like that, these are magnetic. They not only stick to a magnetic surface, you can't see that, but over here you can see it like so. You can also put your screws in there and hold it in there magnetically. Great for working on cars, stuff like that. You really need to have some of these. They come in various shapes and sizes. That's a long tray. They come in short trays and so on. Righto, we'll give the bench a bit of a wipe down. Now, righto, wax and grease remover. I use this stuff. This is great for cleaning up parts that are really dirty, or just preparing for painting and that, to get any wax or grease off. It's good stuff. Now, the old ute, we were talking about the old ute. I had 2 toolboxes on the old ute, and obviously I've taken them off before we traded it in. And being a twin cab ute, it's a lot shorter than. Right, hang on. Let me grab some stuff here. It's a lot shorter in the tray than what the old ute was, and so I'm looking at putting both toolboxes back on, but I'm going to lose a lot of real estate. So we need to think whether I should have a clean up. I probably should have a clean up because one of the toolboxes got water ingress in it, and a lot of the tools I had in there are rusty, and they're sitting on the floor, and they were doing nothing. And some of the toolboxes are deteriorating over time. So I think I need to have a clean up and sort out of the tools I got. Oh, okay, I've got something heavy here, which I'll show you in a minute. Righto. Here we go. Right, and you may wonder what some of this stuff is, and I'll explain in a second. And I may even reposition. We're going to reposition. No, you can see what it is. Okay, I'll explain what it is. Okay, this is part of the steamroller. Now, what part is it? Well, this is to do with the steering. The front forks, right. Okay, let's do a quick turn around over here. You really can't see it because the digital readout for the milling machine's in the way, but let's go over here. This thing here, front forks, 4-carriage front forks, very similar to what's on a motorbike, bicycle. The front axle goes in here, and that's leaning up over against the wall there. The front axle is worn, and I need to get a new piece of steel. And the 2 front rolls, which are over to my left, go in between here. Now, that piece over on the bench that we were just looking at fits over this shaft here, and this goes up through what we call the headstock, and that's the bits at the front there. Hopefully you saw that all right. If not, yell out and I'll explain it again. I was probably standing in the way, wasn't I? Yeah, I would have been standing in the way. Sorry about that. Right, this here. There you go. You've seen it there. You can see it. So we'll turn back around. You might get a bit dizzy. What are you dogs doing? Come here. Righto, I'll take a sip of the old full sugar Coke because I need that sugar. Oh, yeah. There we go. Be the old Mandalorian. Hello, Emma. There you go. That's it. Emma's just explained it. One bit goes on top of the other bit. So this here, my friend Dan down in Melbourne, who's got the same steamroller. Wait, hang on. I've got to go yell at these dogs. Come here. Come here. With me. Come on. Come on. Right, this is our way of... Come on. Come on. So another dog is walking across the road. Come on. Come on. Come here. No. Oh, sorry, folks. No. Come on. With me. Come on. Come on. Good boy, Max. Come on, near. Come on. Up the shed. Come on. Let's go. Right. All right. You're going to go up there. Yeah, you run away, don't you? Don't worry. I talk to the dogs. We all talk to the dogs. We don't get any answers back, but anyway, there you go. Hey, this is a live stream. That's what you get. You wouldn't get it on any other live stream. Been out, started watching season 5 Stranger Things. That's all right, Emma. I've already chewed through season 5 of Stranger Things. Righto, so where we're right, this piece here, this helps keep everything in position, and it slides. It does a purpose. It slides this way, and it allows the shaft of that column to slide up and down, and then you can hear the dogs barking again. There was another dog walking across the road with its owner. So what I need to do is measure this up and take some photos for Dan down in Melbourne. Now this piece here is a hat, is a top hat, and it just when I get it the right way, that just sits over there like so, and it just sets it off. It makes it look good. You haven't got this ugly bit of thing sitting up there. Stranger Thing is a good excuse. Just notice that your phone lying on the... Oh, perfect, yeah. I'm using that to read the comments so I can keep up with you guys. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Pete. I know what you're saying. But anyway, this piece then has 4 holes drilled in it and gets screwed through, and that's basically all it is. It's not a very complicated piece, however, it's a very necessary piece. And like I said, Dan down in Melbourne doesn't have one of these. He needs to make one. It's a solid bit of steel. It's probably originally going by the shape of it. Let's have a look here. This would have been cast, and Emma will correct me if I'm not. Yeah, it would have been cast, and it's a fairly solid lump of thing. I don't know if it's cast iron or steel, or what do you reckon, Emma? Cast iron, cast steel? Who knows? So we've got to take some measurements. So that's what we're going to do right now. And so the easiest way for taking measurements and helping someone out is just to get a ruler and take photos. Now, some of these people have channels, and it'd be nice if you guys could go and check each other out. Mr. Funk and Hungry there, he does food reviews. Righto. So take various photos. And more than likely, these should all be in, yeah, these will all be imperial measurements, or should be. So it doesn't matter whether you go metric or imperial. Okay, so that's spot on 4.5 inches, or just a little bit over actually, or 115 millimeters. From edge to edge here like this, that's 210 or 8.25 inches or something, 1/8, something like that. Some of these measurements are a bit, and that's 7.5 roughly. What the hell? What are you doing? Okay, sorry folks. Maybe it was the other half closing her door. Sounded a bit strange, that's all. Stranger Things, there you go. We get all sorts of strange happenings around here. So that's about 4. Actually, no, it'll be better if I go like this. Just sit it down and go like that. It's almost 5 inches. There you go. Now this is slightly curved. Now, if you probably can't, you may not see that there, but Now, these things are great for... It's amazing where you can get a mobile phone and take photos these days, especially inside pressure vessels, inside boilers and that. Righto there, and now a couple other photos. I'll just no, jeez. What you can hear there is the air compressor draining itself. You think I'd be used to it by now? Yeah, all this. So it's just, even though we haven't taken any photos of the bottom, so we'll take some photos of the bottom for Dan. And like I said, we've really, having the same engine, it's been a bonus because you're helping each other out. If one person hasn't got a particular measurement or a particular item, the other person may have, so you help each other out. It's been fantastic. There's a bit of wear there from something, and it's no big deal. I could probably build that up with weld. It's nothing important, nothing that... look, it's already 100 years old, so it's not going to do much damage. So I'll send these photos down, and I've got to take some photos of the top hat here, and I'll be doing the same again. We'll be putting the ruler in front, taking various photos. It's 7 inches square, roughly, a bit more actually, or maybe it's slightly different. Now, in this day and age, we fabricate things in preference, depending on the situation. We fabricate things depending on the application. Sometimes it's easier and quicker to fabricate something than to actually cast it like this. But back in the day, casting was the way to do, because they didn't have the technology that we have today. However, casting is still a very cost-effective way of manufacturing parts, especially in our internal combustion engines. Like the crankshaft is cast, the cylinder block is cast, the head is cast, all that sort of stuff. So it's horses for courses, so to speak. Now, this is where I need to get another ruler, and lucky I have 2 or more. I'm going to set that, just going to set that there like that on top, and that'll give Dan a rough idea, or anyone else, like so. Probably can't, I should move this. So this is the top hat I'm working on. Let's go back there, that's better. I just put that on, balance that on the top to get a, and that's a train you can probably hear in the background. Right, now we flip this over. It's hollow, of course, as you can see. You could wear it as a hat, but it might get a bit heavy. Bit of heavy metal. So we'll take a... Righto. Now we need some measurements across there, like so. And across there, like so. 7.5 inches. 7.5. There's a slight difference. Some nice radiuses. It's not sharp corners or anything like that. The diagonal's not going to matter, but we'll take it anyway. These holes here are tapped, obviously, but they look like they've seen better days, and I would imagine it'd be some sort of, well, I thought it'd be 1/4 inch, but I don't think so. Righto, so, the curve, that's it. How are we going to do this? Hopefully, okay, this is the way we'll do it. The curve, that's something he'll have to work out. It's probably only, well, if I, actually no, it's something I can work out. It's about 3/8 of an inch radius arc, roughly. Yeah, 9.5, so 3/8 of an inch. Right, let's get oh, I've only got 2 hands. Right, I'll have to send that to him in a message, I think. All right, that will do for those 2 items. There's another 2 items, or there's another item which I need to get for him, and we'll do that. I'll see if I can find that quickly, and I'll talk to you in the meantime. Okay, Pete. Yeah, they're forged. Righto. 516 Whitworth. Yeah, you're probably right, Emma. Oh, that full sugar Coke. Anyway, they don't sponsor me, so I shouldn't be mentioning them too much. Right, no, okay, so the other bits I need to take photos of and send to Dan. I won't dig out, I'll do that after the stream. But you get the idea. It's a great way, like I said, when you're working on something like this or the steamroller, it's a great way to network with other people, and Facebook has been a fantastic way that I've come across and had help with, especially people in the UK that have helped me out with different things because they have the same steamroller or very similar. Other people here in Australia as well, people like Emma. Emma owns a steamroller as well, a Fowler steamroller, slightly different model to this one, but it's all the same, just slightly bigger. So this has been a fantastic project to work on. A little bit frustrating at times. Yes, I've probably put too much time into it at times, but the reward will soon. So in the next year, the plan is hopefully it'll all be back together and I'll be able to drive it down the road. That's something to work on. There's still a lot of work ahead, and we'll wait and see what happens. Stranger things have happened. So we'll go back over here to the computer. But as with all projects, you keep chipping away slowly. Slow and steady wins the race. If Dan has the smoke box turret piece, the radius will be on that too. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So what he's done, Emma, is unfortunately he couldn't find the original front rolls, so he's got a set of Aveling rolls, and they fit in pretty damn well. In fact, after the stream, I'll send you some photos to look at. Actually, I really need to maybe ask Dan to. If I can share some of his photos online here, because he's done a fantastic job and he's way ahead of me. So all kudos to him. Righto. Well, we've been going on long enough now for the stream, so I'm going to wrap it up at that. And I'd just like to say thank you very much for joining in the chat. Thanks to the new subscribers, the old subscribers that continue to support me. Like I say, some of these other people do have channels, so go check them out. And thanks for watching if you have been. We're going to see you in the next one. See you next Thursday. I'll see how we go at Old Petrie Town over the weekend. I might slip in a couple of live streams or something like that, just to get something out there. AJ, g'day, mate. How are you? But usually at a Christmas do, there's music, and that may interfere with copyright and stuff to do with YouTube. So anyway, we'll wait and see what happens. I may even just put a few photos up of the event or something like that. Thanks everyone for watching. Please say hello to each other. Look after yourselves. See you in the next one next Thursday night, and bye for now. Whistle.